Hi, my name's Diana Britton, Managing Editor of WealthManagement.com. I'm here doing a WMTV interview with Steve Erner. He's the head of RIA platform at LPL Financial. We're going to talk a little bit about custody trends today. So Steve, we've seen a lot of the commoditization of the custody space. So with that, what does the evolution of custody look like, and what should advisors be thinking about right now?
Sure. Well, first, pleasure to be here, Diana. So yes, I think everybody could understand that the core foundation of custody has been commoditized. Everybody can custody assets, they can clear trades. If they can't do it well, they're not in the business at this point. And so that brings the question of, well, what else, right? What other services do the custodians provide? If you think back 20 years ago, the custodian was truly the epicenter of the ecosystem for RIAs. Since then, we've evolved to having a lot of fintech come in, disrupt that, and so you've seen fragmentation. And then on the pricing side, you've seen people drive to or at zero, and with that, they've had to cut all their services for RIAs. And so you have this broad swath of advisors, RIAs, who are now trying to figure out how do they support their own business. Someone else used to do this for me. They used to provide me services, opening new accounts, just doing back office items. They used to have a relationship manager for me to help me grow. They used to have people that were consulting on the tech side. None of that exists now for this population since they're at a discount brokerage model. And so we're seeing a lot of trends now. LPL is trying to drive some of this, where we don't want to be showing up as a discount broker. We want to show up as a true partner in the custodial space, providing those services. And so all RIAs should be supported in getting that type of a touch point, if you will.
Yeah. And so you guys are now, the third largest custodian?
We are, yeah. So by assets under management, we're the third largest RIA custodian now because of all the consolidation going on. And most people don't know that, right? They know LPL as an independent broker-dealer, the largest, fastest growing independent broker-dealer. But we have a very large RIA custody business, and we've been in the business for quite a while.
Yeah, and so tell me a little bit about what differentiates your custody offering from, the Schwabs and Fidelities out there.
Sure. So first, I think we already spoke to the customers, the commoditization, if you will. So we have a large focus on support. And what does that mean? So we have a dedicated RIA service pod for all RIAs. And so it's a nuanced business. You know who you're calling into. They're there to support you, whether you have $10 million or $10 billion on the platform. Relationship management. Everyone gets a dedicated relationship manager. So all RIAs are getting that. And then we have growth consultants. So in addition to a relationship manager, we have someone specifically focused on your goals of growing your business organically or inorganically. So that's the core foundation. On top of that, we've developed this off-the-shelf offering. And so we're trying to have nearly everything an RIA could possibly need to run their back office, middle office, front office off the shelf. So if they want to select those services, they can. If not, they can get it somewhere else or they can build it in-house. And that could be anything from administrative services to CFO solutions to marketing help to paraplanning, everything to M&A. And so that's something that a lot of other custodians aren't doing. And so we view that as a differentiator. Another big thing is we are all about the advisor, all about the RIA, and we always have been. We do not have a direct-to-consumer retail model, so we're not trying to steal or target those end clients. And so when you custody with LPL, you can sleep at night, right? They know that they're not going to lose their clients. They don't have calculators on their websites that say, hey, you can save X dollars if you drop your advisor. No. Our business is the advisor and how they service their end client. And that's how it always has been and how it always will be at LPL. So that's a big differentiator. And then for those RIAs who need brokerage, which, if you believe the Cerulli reports, is more than 50% of the assets are at hybrid RIAs, those who use some bit of brokerage still. We have an integrated brokerage platform. And so if you need brokerage as a service, as an RIA, you can get that here, and it's one integrated experience. And so instead of having to go find a separate relationship, a separate friendly broker-dealer that isn't per se friendly, you have one experience here. So again, it comes back to one integration. So if you're using a third-party technology, it's one data feed. It's one person, a solution to any problems you may have. It's one relationship manager, one service team. It's one platform. If you want to use our technology, you don't have to. And then for the end client experience, it's one statement, right? So you're not explaining multiple different people in the process. Me as the RIA is one, then there's the custodian, and if you find a separate broker-dealer for that service, that's 3 relationships you have to explain to your end client instead of 2.
Right.
And so getting that one package, it just helps that seamless experience with your end client, which makes your life as an advisor that much different and easier. So.
Yeah, and so I know you just mentioned a couple, some of the things, but as we see the continued shift to fee-based business, and continued move to the RIA channel, what solutions are you providing to facilitate those trends?
Sure. Yeah. So building off of that brokerage as a service offering, I've spoken to a number of existing, well-established RIAs who are acquiring, right? I think acquisition is a very hot topic right now. Everybody wants to grow. But often if they are just fee-based and they buy into fully advisory, they have a narrow focus on where can they acquire from, right? And so they're locking themselves out of that duly registered hybrid offering set. What do they do with those outside of buy them and then get rid of them? And that's a terrible experience, not only for the advisor that's being acquired, but for the end client relationship. Often they have advisory and brokerage. It's very rare that they just have brokerage and you're getting rid of a whole relationship. And so again, what we've done is provided that seamless opportunity. So if they want to have a hybrid business, they can do it all at LPL. If they want to transition that acquisition or those specific assets from brokerage to advisory, a lot of people set up a 12-month window, if you will. And so they'll go, okay, for 12 months, I'm going to start pushing these advisory assets to advisory. And then at the end of that 12 months, or whatever their arbitrary timeline is, they'll go, all right, LPL, I can't do anything with this bucket of brokerage business, but I don't want to be doing brokerage. And so we provide an opportunity for them to sell that business to us.
Okay.
And so we'll purchase the brokerage business. We'll manage it centrally at LPL with our LPL rep of record, and they can manage the holistic relationship. And so what does that mean? That means they can still get access to the data, what's understanding there, so we can send duplicate statements there. The client still has that one relationship with LPL, and so it's one package of statements they're getting. So again, they're not selling it to somebody else. We'll never sell that book of business. We're never going to try to move it to advisory. We just execute for them. And so we become a brokerage arm almost of what they're doing there. And so they can keep that relationship, but stay fee-based. So that's one thing we're doing to facilitate the movement of assets to advisory. And similarly on the corporate platform, because we have one of the largest national corporate RIAs out there as well, we've developed a program, and it's been around for a couple of years, where you can drop your 7 and just do advisory business.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of people associate us with independent broker-dealer. They think Series 7 brokerage business, but you can do that on the corporate platform as a 1099 at LPL and just do advisory if you'd like. So we're setting up a lot of solutions around that.
And so that rep of record that you mentioned that you sell the business to, the brokerage, are they an employee of LPL? They're in the employee channel, or?
So they're in a separate group. They're not even in the employee channel. So Linsco is our employee model. Right. That is akin to a lot of the other W-2 models you'll see at some of the other independent broker-dealers. So that model is you own your book, you're an advisor, you may come from a wirehouse. So that's their own business. They're still an independent, but they're in a W-2 model, an employee model. These advisors, the rep of records on this brokerage as a service model, they're at LPL home office employees. So they're really grown up in the ecosystem. They're acting and just providing a service to other advisors at LPL. So they're a home office employee advisor, W-2 employee, but providing really to the other advisors, not to end clients per se.
Okay.
So they're not out there building their own books.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
They're more just servicing a book.
Yeah. Okay, great. Just really interesting things going on in the custody space. Steve Erner from LPL, thank you so much for being here and answering all the questions.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Diana.
Conversation. Yeah, thank you for watching this wealthmanagement.com interview, and we'll see you next time.